take the money? At one stage you had $40,000 cash sitting in front of you. Did you take it?
Absolutely, yes. And it was given to me, and I got it in the car and then returned it straight away.
Once the scandal broke?
As soon as I knew it was a scandal, not once it broke, Michael. But don't try and trick me now, because I'm not going to play this game. Delete that bit. John, can you just delete it, please, that bit? Because I don't want to go down this...
Duchess, I'm asking very fair questions of you.
No, I just too tabloidy.
John is Sarah's Australian agent, off-screen.
This is everything you've written in your book, though.
Yes, I know, but
and you're releasing your book, and you've agreed to do
the book has already been released. And the thing is, I'm not going to go down to this point. I'm going to answer your questions, but that's done. It's finished. I've answered it. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next question.
This is just the starting point of this year in your life that you've written about.
Thank you very much.
It's pivotal. It's what started the whole thing.
Thank you.
You do write, though, that this tabloid scandal, in fact, you almost feel thankful for it. It let you, I don't know, review your life, see where you were at. It's an interesting way to look at being involved in a controversy like that it helped you in a way.
Sorry? What's your question?
In the book, you write that the News of the World scandal almost helped you, that it let you look at your life.
I'm very grateful to being in that position in a way when I hit rock bottom, because of it woke me up.
How big a wake up has it been?
What more can I say? What more can I say?
The biggest.
You can't possibly.
Yeah.
You can't possibly. Of course it has.
How has it affected...
Remember. What's she called? Cindy. Yeah. I'm going to take 5 minutes.
I'm sorry?
No, nothing. I'm just going to take 5 minutes.
Most people would have broken under a fraction of the pressure aimed at Sarah Ferguson. But for nearly 40 years, she didn't just survive the cutthroat world of the monarchy. She practically rewrote the rules of survival. For decades, the global public watched in absolute shock as she turned devastating defeats into massive triumphs, outlasting multi-million-dollar ruin, public humiliation, and ruthless betrayals. But suddenly, the flashbulbs have gone completely cold. The Duchess has vanished from the public eye, and rumors are swirling behind palace walls about a quiet, devastating final move that changed everything. The old playbook isn't working anymore, because the shadow looming over her this time doesn't just threaten her reputation. It threatens to expose a reality she can no longer outrun. Welcome back to the channel, where we pull back the curtain on the world's most guarded institutions and analyze the hidden power dynamics shaping history. If you are fascinated by the high-stakes chess match played behind palace walls, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications right now so you never miss an update on the stories defining our world. To understand why Sarah Ferguson suddenly vanished, you have to realize that every single setback she ever faced simply set the stage for a spectacular comeback. It all started when the early 1990s delivered a blow that should have permanently erased her from public life. Shocking photographs emerged, splashed across global front pages, revealing the Duchess in a highly compromising vacation scandal while still technically married into the royal family. The palace was furious, the public was repulsed, and she was instantly cast out into the freezing cold. But instead of hiding away in shame, she did something no one saw coming. She crossed the Atlantic, secured high-profile television deals, and reinvented herself as a commercial powerhouse. Just when the world thought she had stabilized her image, a devastating undercover sting operation caught her allegedly offering access to her former husband for a massive, under-the-table fee. The footage seemed to cement her permanent social ruin. Yet, she used that exact moment of absolute rock bottom to pivot into charity work, children's books, and high-profile media appearances that slowly rebuilt her public standing. Insiders say her ability to weaponize public sympathy became her ultimate superpower, culminating in a deeply personal health battle that had the entire world rooting for her recovery. She was the one figure who could always look at absolute ruin, smile, and find a backdoor path right back into public favor. But the pattern that kept her afloat for 3 decades has suddenly, violently stalled, because a hidden piece of this puzzle exposes a secret she never wanted the world to see. In recent months, reports suggest she was quietly preparing what was meant to be the most ambitious public relations pivot of her entire life. This wasn't just a simple plan to return to television or release another standard novel. According to sources, she was laying the groundwork for a massive, multi-million-dollar global brand relaunch, aiming to firmly re-establish herself as an independent power player entirely separate from the monarchy. At first, the strategy seemed flawlessly calculated to tap into a wave of renewed public interest. Rumors indicate she was aggressively scouting high-level representation, looking to assemble an elite team capable of securing lucrative production contracts and international media deals. Her ultimate goal was a triumphant return to the spotlight, utilizing her well-known resilience to frame herself as an empowering figure of survival. The stage was set, and for a moment, the anticipation surrounding her next move was incredibly high. But just as the first pieces of her grand plan were being put into motion, the entire foundation began to crumble in a way no one could have predicted. Instead of a triumphant relaunch, public records suddenly revealed the quiet, systematic shutdown of multiple businesses connected to her name, including several of her primary commercial ventures. Even more devastatingly, her highly publicized personal charity was forced to close its doors for the foreseeable future. The momentum didn't just slow down, it reversed entirely. Her carefully constructed path back to the top had hit an invisible wall, leaving the world to wonder what could possibly have the power to dismantle a comeback strategy this carefully planned. The public survival rules changed forever, and Sarah Ferguson found herself completely blindsided by the shift. In the past, a clever television appearance with Oprah Winfrey or a well-timed historical romance novel could make the public forget almost any controversy. But the modern media landscape is no longer forgiving, and public patience has completely run out.
The fact that you're dragging your daughters into this, the emails offer more proof that Fergie continued to suck up to Epstein despite publicly disowning him. Another email, is there any chance I could borrow $50,000 to $100,000 to help get through the small bills that are pushing me over? Had to ask. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing for Sarah Ferguson. This is what you were emailing Epstein, begging this man for money. Is there any chance I could borrow $50,000 or $100,000 to help get through the small bills that are pushing me over? I had to ask. Wow. I would be so grateful. Lord have mercy. It's all stated that Andrew and Sarah were in it up to their necks with Epstein. It was always about the money. This was always going to be their downfall. Isn't it so strange that members of the royal family, especially Andrew, desperate with shady money deals, especially with, Ferguson, somebody who was probably broke by the brim and was asking Epstein for money, 100,000, and then saying that you would pay him back. I had to ask you. And then when he gave you that money, you actually could not pay him back. So what did you do with that money? Because clearly you didn't make any profits. It just sounds like failed businesses. Where were you spending this money? Why do you and your husband, why do you both need this money? This is also embarrassing on their daughters, because they're linked to this, and any charitable, high society related work that they're going to be doing or have done is not only going to be frowned upon, but people are going to neglect you as well. How embarrassing for the entire clan. This is vicious news for Prince Andrew and Ferguson. A police probe, Prince William abandoning you. What the hell is going on today with this? Speechless.
Ferguson visited Jeffrey Epstein at an office while he was supposed to be in jail. It sounds unbelievable, but that's exactly what the Telegraph has uncovered. After Epstein's 2008 conviction, he was allowed out of prison for 12 hours a day under a controversial work release program. He claimed he was working for something called the Florida Science Foundation, but prosecutors later said it was essentially a bogus company that he had set up. The Telegraph discovered that Sarah Ferguson visited Epstein there twice, with a third visit planned but later cancelled. We also found that Lord Mandelson, the former UK ambassador to the US, who was sacked over his links to Jeffrey Epstein, contacted the paedophile at the same office by phone and video call. The office is now under fresh scrutiny, of course, because alleged victims say Epstein abused girls there while he was officially serving his prison sentence.
Beatrice, how is your mum? Can you give us an update on her?
She's doing really well, thank you, Josie. Yeah, she's had a bumpy health scare last year, but all clear now. And I think at 64, she's thriving. She's been through so much, but I think really now she's sort of coming into her own. I think we're just reminded when any parent or individual has a sort of a health scenario, just really get the checks that you need to get, and as early as you possibly can. And I think, you know, both my sister and I are so proud of her.